you use quantity of a base year to assign the weight, that method is called as what? Last price index method. What is the price that has been increased? What is the percentage of price that has been increased? So let us look into that by using past-choose formula. To consume certain goods and services, what is the price that is there? What is the cost of living that is there? So that is measured by your consumer price index. Hello everybody, I'm Divya, lecturing Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysuru, the Temple of Excellence. Today I welcome you all for Session 2 on your Chapter 7, that is your index number. So in the last class, we have discussed about what is index number and what are the different types of index number, mainly price index number, wholesale price index number, consumer price index number, and your industrial production index number. And we have also discussed the methods of measuring the index number, why index number is important. So in the last class, we have discussed the problem as well. So in today's class, we will be discussing about last price index, methods of average relative, price relative index weight, consumer price index, and index of industrial production. Moving forward, so I'll just start the class with a quote. The money remains same, but the basket is getting smaller. So keep this quote in your mind. Until we complete our session today, you will find the answer for that quote. So let us understand what is this last price index. So in the last class, we have discussed about the average, simple weighted average method. In the last class, we have discussed about simple aggregate method, and we have also discussed weighted aggregate price index method. So in that problem also we have solved. In today's class, we'll be discussing about weighted aggregate price index method. So there are mainly two methods that has been used to assign the weight and calculate the index. So what is this? The first method is last price index method. So a weight aggregate price index using the current period quantity as weight is known as purchase price index. So as I have told you, to measure the index number under your weighted aggregate price index number, we have two different methods. One is last price index method and the other is purchase price index method. It is also pronounced as purchase. It is also pronounced as past-choose method of price index. So when you calculate in the last class we have discussed, so to calculate the base period, we have kept the 100 as the number. So to calculate, if they calculate the weight, the quantity, comparing the base period quantity, then it is called as what? It is last price index method. For example, in the last class we have discussed the problem. In that problem, we have compared the base price as well as we have compared the price of a current year as well as the base year by using the quantity of base year. So that kind of method of calculating the weighted aggregative price index is called as what? Last price index method. So their base period will be for both the current year price as well as your base period price. The quantity, the base year quantity will be taken for calculating the problem. So that method is called as what? Last price index method. So when you use current year period quantity as a weight to calculate the weighted aggregate price index, then it is past-choose or purchase price index method. So the base period value will be assigned as weight to the items in the current year basket. So that kind of method is called as what? Last price index. So if you want to compare the current year price as well as the base year price, what is the price changes that has happened. So if you use quantity of a base year to assign the weight, that method is called as what? Last price index method. So if you want to check out whether what is the changes that has happened compared to base period to current year period, if you use current year quantity, then it is past choose price index method. So this is all about your last price index method. So this comes under your weighted aggregate price index. So to measure the index number, we have two types, that is your simple aggregate method as well as your weighted aggregate price method. So where we assign the weight, because price is determined based on the quantity. So we are assigning the weight. So under that we have this two methods, last price index method as well as purchase price index method. So the formula is last price index is equal to sigma P1 and quantity 0 divided by P0 and Q0. So here what we are using to assign the weight, we have assigned the weight by using what? Base period quantity. So if we use to assign the weight, if we are using base period values, then this method is called as last price index method. So this is the formula. So let's compute the last price index by solving a problem. So let us understand the question. The question is given to you people. So read out the question. Commodity A, B, C, D. So these are the four different basket of commodities that is put in front of you people. Now you have to compare what is the base price period as well as current price period. What is the percentage of change that has happened over a period of time to buy certain basket of commodities. So let's assume if your expenditure is rupees 100, you have 100 rupees to buy all these commodities in the base period, but what is the changes in price to buy certain commodities in the current period? So we are calculating what? The price. We are understanding what is the percentage of change that has happened. So by solving, by using the formula of last price index, so let us solve the problem. So in the last class, I have assigned few of the weights to the price and we have checked out how to compute the weighted price aggregate index. So we have calculated that, and as well as simple aggregate method also. So by using this, let us see what is last price index shows us. Base period price 2542 with the same examples that I have taken. A period quantity, that is your P0 stands for the period, the base period quantity, current price, and the current, that is the period quantity. This is current period quantity. So that is given in the question. So let us substitute the values to the formula and check out what is the answer that we get. What is the percentage of change that has happened? So what is the formula? The formula last price index is equal to sigma, that is your current, what this P1 stands for, your current price quantity, base period quantity, base period price, and your base period quantity. So if you substitute the values and check out what is the answer. This is into 100. Why we are taking it as 100? Because we are comparing the base period. The standard mark that we have kept is 100. The standard percentage to calculate that we have kept to compare the present year to the base year, it is 100. So what is sigma P1 for what is your quantity, that is your Q0, base period quantity 10 plus. So let us look into that. Again, 6 into your period quantity, that is 12 plus 5 into 20 plus 3 into 15. Next we have price of a base period 2 into 10 plus 5 into 12 plus 4 into 20 plus we have how much? 2 into 15 into how much? Into 100. So let's substitute the value and check out what is the changes that has happened in the price, because we are using last price index method. Let's use the calculator and check out. 4 into 10, 40 plus 6 into 12, it is 72. 5 into 20, it is 100. Plus 3 into 15, it is 45, divided by 20 plus 5 into 12, it is 60. 4 into 20, it is 80 plus 2 into 15. So it is 30. So if you add all this and multiply with 100, 40 plus 72 plus 100 plus 45, it is 257 divided by 20 plus 60 plus 80 plus 30, it is 190 into 100. 257 divided by 190 into 100, it is 135.26. So this is the answer that we have got. So in the base period, if you assume that 100 rupees expenditure is there for us to come to purchase all this basket of commodities, but in the current year the price have been rise by 35.26 rupees. So what is the price that has been changed that we can see? That is 35.26 is the changes, the price that has happened from base year to the current year. So this is how you make the comparison by using last price index method. Similarly, if we use the current year quantity, that is your current period quantity, and if you calculate the value, you can see the comparison between if the base period price and what is the current year period price that has been changes. So let us look into that. So the formula will change. Sigma current year price, current year quantity divided by your sigma base period price and current period quantity. So if you take out this formula and check out, let us see what is the changes that is there in the price. What is the current period price? 4 into base period current period quantity 5 plus what is the current year period price? 6 into 10 plus 5 into 15 plus 10 into 3 into 100 divided by we are using now as per the formula, we are using base period price and the current period quantity. So which method is this? Past-choose method of price index method. So by using this formula, so let us see what is the changes that is there. So if we assume that 100 rupees is the expenditure amount that we have to purchase this amount of commodities, what is the price that is there for the current year? What is the price that has been increased? What is the percentage of price that has been increased? So let us look into that by using past-choose formula. So now your base period price 2 into 5 plus 5 into 10 plus 4 into 15 plus, and what is the next base period price? That is your 2, and what is the current year quantity? It is 10. So now let's substitute the answer. So 4 5s are 20 plus 6 10s are 60 plus 15 5s are, it is 75 plus 10 3s are, it is 30 divided by, what's the base period price? We have 5 2s are 10 plus 5 10s are 50 plus 15 4s are 60 plus 2 10s are 20. 20 plus 60 plus 75 plus 30 is equal to, it is 185 divided by 10 plus 50 plus 60 plus 20, it is 140 into 100. So 185 divided by 140 into 100, it is 132.14. How much it is? 132.14. So 132.14 is the answer. 132.14 is the answer that we have got. So in the base period, 100 rupees, if you have to purchase these baskets of commodities, so in the current year, you need how many rupees? 132.14 rupees, and that is what 32.4 rupees is the changes that we have got. So that is 32.14 is the difference that the price has been increased from the base period to the current period. So to purchase this kind of commodities. So this 6-mark problem, so they'll ask you, they'll provide you the commodity, base period commodity, base period price, current period price and the current period commodity. So current period quantity will be given to you. So you have to solve the problem using last price method and past choose problem that will be asked for 6 marks. So in your last price method, you need to take up quantity, base period quantity for both the calculation, but in case of your past choose method, you have to take your current year quantity that is given in the question for both the base period price as well as your current period price for past choose method. So this is what the difference is. Moving forward, so this method uses the base period quantity as weight, a weighted aggregate price index using base period quantity as weight. It is called as what? Last price index. A weighted aggregate price index uses current period quantity as weight. It is called as what? It is called as past choose price index. It is called as past choose price index method. Moving forward, let us understand the another method of calculating your price index, calculating your index number. So what is that? It is averaging relatives, method of averaging relatives. So let us look into what is that averaging relative is all about. So when there is only one commodity, the price index, the ratio of the price of the commodity in the current year period to that in the base period, so usually expressed in percentage. So it will be expressed in your percentage. So as we have learned, so because base period we have taken the value as 100. So what is the changes that I have shown you people? So here the method of average relatives takes the average of those relatives. So the average means the summation, the total of that will be taken. The average of the total number will be taken because there will be many commodities. Moving forward, in a weighted relative, index weight may be determined by the proportion or percentage of a expenditure on them in the total expenditure during the base period. So it can also refer to current period depending upon the formula used. So depending upon the formulas used, it will be calculated. So there are essentials, the value share of different commodities in the different expenditure. So there are essentially the value shares of different commodities in the different expenditure. So this is your average relative method. So in general, the base period weight is only preferred to calculate the current period weight. So it is because calculating the weight every year is inconvenient. So every year we need to calculate the weight. It becomes inconvenient and also the calculation becomes more. So for that purpose, the base period only will be taken for the consideration to study your index number. So it is also refers to the changing value of different baskets. So when you have lesser number, lesser commodities, you will go with the simple aggregate method and the weighted aggregate method. Under weighted aggregate method, you will learn last price and past use price index. If the commodities are more, then you have to go with the average relatives method for computing your index number. Moving forward, consumer price index number. So it is also called as what? Cost of living index number. So what is this consumer price index number measure? It measures the living, the cost of living. Suppose you say, if you go to Bangalore and compare the cost of living with Mysore. So what is this cost of living? So whatever the expenditure you have, whatever the income you have, and to what standard you can purchase the commodities, you can consume those commodities by using that income, that is your expenditure. So based on that expenditure, you can calculate your cost of living. So what is the expenditure that you can make? What is the cost that you can bear in order to live in that particular place? So it measure what? To consume certain goods and services, what is the price that is there? What is the cost of living that is there? So that is measured by your consumer price index. So initially I have given you a quote. So what was that quote? Money remains same. So if the money is 100 rupees, it is 100 rupees today also, but the basket is smaller. So then your grandmother, grandfather would have told you. So you're saying that, so earlier times, if I go 10 rupees, if I take 10 rupees, I used to get basket full of commodities to consume. But here now the price have been changed because of various factors. So what is that consumer price index? What it measures? It measures the cost of living. So that is why it is also called as cost of living index. Why? Because what to live in a particular place, to consume certain goods and services, what is the cost that is associated? What is the price? So that information will be given to you with the help of consumer price index number. So few of the statistics have been put in front of you to understand that you have to know what is consumer price index. So consumer price index, as I have told you, my dear students, to know what is the consumption pattern. So you have expenditure to buy certain things. What is the price that is incur? What is the price that is incurring for you people? So that is your consumer price index. So that index number will show you what is the changes that has been there in the price of goods and services, commodities that you people have purchased in the base year and the current year. What is the changes that has happened? So that price variation will be measured in your consumer price index. So let us look into the first point. Government agencies in India prepare a large number of consumer price index number. So some of them are as follow. Consumer price index for industrial workers with the base 2001 was 100 rupees. So base year is always taken for the comparison with the current year. So they have given the data of May 2017. So it has been increased by 278 rupees. So what is this statement tells you? So in the base period, when it was in the 2001 rupees was the, if 100 rupees was there, a basket full of commodities were there for a person to consume. But later in 2017, the price have been increased by 278. So this consumer price index, wholesale price index number, and your index of industrial production, so your Sensex, human development index, so all these are the economic barometers which helps you to know what is the changes that is happening in the society, in the economy, what is the changes that we can see, what is the inflation rate. So to take up major decisions in your economy, so the major policies has to be taken up, like your wage policy, your capital formation. So all these decisions will be taken with the help of this index number itself. So what is the development that has happened? So it is a parameter where the standard lies. What is the thing that has to be measured? Everything will be looked after. So your industrial workers with the base 2001, in 2001 it was 100 rupees, but in the next index it has been changed to 278 rupees. So all India Consumer Price Index number for agricultural labor was base period 100 rupees, but value of index in May 2017 it is 872 rupees. Next we have for rural labors, the base period was 100 and the index here it has been increased to 878 rupees. So this is all about your consumer price index. So all these things is very important, because as I have told you, these are very important for your policy making, for decision making. So index of industrial production. So what is this index of industrial production? Index of industrial production. So it measures the performances of various industries in the economy. So what is this index measures? It measures what is the performances that is there in the industrial sector in India. So that is there. Unlike the consumer price index and the wholesale price index, this is an, what is this wholesale price index? What is that? So this is an index which tries to measure the quantities. So what it measures? It tries to measure the quantity. Consumer price index, it measures the price and the cost of living of a consumer. But here wholesale price index, it measures the quantity. Next, moving forward, with effect from April 2017, the base year has been fixed at 100 rupees. So in the year 2011 to 12, the base year for the comparison foreign index number is 100 rupees. So the reason for the fast changing in the base year is that every year a large number of items either stop being manufactured or being inconsequential, while many other new items start getting manufactured. So why this performances should be noted down, my dear students? Because it is very important, because from year to year we can see that the few of the commodities we are getting new, few of them they have stopped the manufacturing itself. So why this is happening? Because of the fast changing, fast growing economy that we have. So that is why we have to know the performances of industrial sector in the economy. So what this index, that is your industrial production index measure, it measures the performances of industrial sectors in India. So moving forward, the index of industrial production is available at the level of industrial sector and the subsector. So they'll compare industrial sector and their sectors and that levels, what is their performance, how the performances is going on. So that will be measured. The main branches are mining, manufacturing and electricity. Sometimes the focus in on what is called as core industries, namely coal industry, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement and electricity. So on these industrial sector, because as I have told you, tertiary sector, we have primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Your tertiary sector and your secondary sector are mainly contributing income for our economy. So we have to know what is our tertiary sector is providing us, what is the secondary sector is providing us, because we are living in the country where the income is generated through your secondary and tertiary sector. So it is important to know what are the core sectors, core industries in our economy which is providing income for the country. So all these are the different industries that has been considered as a core industries for calculating, for knowing that what is the performances that is happening. So this index will provide a picture or an idea to the economist and economy to take up a sound decision regarding their performances. So the 8 core industries have been combined weight of 40.27% of your IIP, that is Index of Industrial Production. That's it for today's class. Thank you so much for joining. Hope the session was interesting and fruitful. Smile is the biggest jewel you can wear. Keep smiling, people. Thank you.